Right then, guys and girls, you have to excuse me, it's pissing it down with rain and I've got a bit of a cold. Right, this are the Koso db-01rn clocks. Appears everything's working. I'm not 100% sure on the calibration of the fuel, but the settings can be adjusted. I'll show you how to wire them in. So, as you can see, the clocks wired directly into the standard loom clocks. So these are matching replacements. I'll put a link to where you can find them. This is obviously a Mark 2. Mark 1 is different. I believe they've got a single connector and some of the wiring is a little bit different. But right, I'll make a list of what's what and where they go to, but just so you can sort of see. So start off with, we've got the main battery voltage power wire that's permanently live. That's the 6-pin plug, and that goes to the red and white from the bike loom. Then we have the grey, can't remember what that is, that might be the oil light. So the grey goes to the green and orange on the 6-pin, and then this blue and yellow one, this is actually the RPM. You'll see when you get your clocks that it's got the bullet connector on, and you'll come with two of these blue and yellow cables. One of those cables basically piggybacks onto the coil, and the second cable, it's just a blank end. Obviously I've trimmed a lot of this off. Now I could have just put a pin onto this brown and then gone straight into it, but because we've already got a brown anyway, which is the ignition live, so only power when the ignition's on, yeah, I just decided to leave that on. At least then, I mean, hopefully I shouldn't need to mess around with these anymore, but I know what's what then. Alright, then the 10-pin plug. So obviously got the black, which is the main earth, that goes to the black and white. There's a white cable from the clocks, goes to the blue and black. And then the light blue cable from the clocks goes to the pale green, that's an indicator. The orange on the clocks is the other indicator, and that goes to black. Yellow to yellow. Green goes to this yellow and black. If I remember off the top of my head, that is the fuel gauge. There you go, yellow and black. I think that's it. So these two wires, one of them is for the engine management light, which this bike does not have, and the other is a temperature sensor, which this does not have. Obviously the ends are just cut as they come from the factory. I've just taped them up, separated them, taped them, make sure they can't touch anything. And then for the speedo, I'm using the supplied active sensor that just plugs in. Now again, on the Mark II there is a digital output from the front sprocket. There's a sensor on there. I guess you could cut this plug off and connect it to one of these wires in here. I'm not sure which one it is, I can't remember at the second, but in all fairness, there is no information on these wires on the supplied diagram, so it would be a lot of trial and error. The main reason why I've gone for this speedo, I mean eventually I'll probably swap it out for the GPS one, although this is pretty accurate to the GPS anyway. The main reason why I've gone for this one is because I'm changing the front sprocket at some point soon, in which case the speed output is going to be massively wrong anyway. Right, so that's the wiring. Back in a sec. Hopefully you can see this. Right, so have a quick run through the settings. So you've got the two buttons. Try not to block the camera. So you have to press and hold for 3 seconds. There you go. Okay, so the main number here, that's for each and individual setting. I think there's about 9 different categories of settings in total. So the first one is the wheel speedo setup. So obviously to cycle through, it's the right button. Can't remember which one that is. It might be the select button, or it might be the adjust button. I can't remember. Anyway, let's go all the way back through because we need to get back to number 1. And I'll try and do this off memory as well, so just bear with me. Okay, so number 1, so once you've got it on the selected category that you want, press the left button. Okay, that cycles through, so you need to see now the one's flashing. So this size is the circumference of the tyre. I'd look online, used a calculator, blah blah blah. 1,884 millimeters is the circumference. So it's the left button to select. Once it's flashing, you use the right button to change. I'm not going to do that because I don't want to screw anything up. So I'll see cycle through. I'm pressing the left button only in a second. Okay, once you've done that, it then goes on to the next page. Now this is asking how many points that you're using on this bike. Well, obviously on these brake discs there's 5 disc bolts. So 0, 5, and that's that. Okay, next page. Okay, so this is the RPMs. I've got it on. It's not overly clear what's what on the instructions, but this is what I've got it at, and it works. So yeah, so it's P, and it's 1. And then the next screen is high act and there's low act. This is set to high act. And then it's maximum RPMs. I can't remember what the ranges are, but 15 is basically the closest that you're going to get. It's 1,000 over, but it's better than being under. Okay, next one. Yes, now it's recycled back to the main page. To the main thing to change it. Do excuse me, I'm mumbling like a good one. Okay, this is the fuel number 3. So I've got it currently set on to use, or use R, whichever you want to call it. And this is where you select the resistance. Now, from what I can remember, the resistance of the tank fuel sender is around 93 on empty, and up to about 8 ohms for full. I'm going to actually try and change this because I've got it on 90. I think it's overreading a little bit at the minute, so I want it to. I'm going to try and take that to 93. Let's go 95, so let's see what happens. Some of these settings it really is trial and error. And then obviously this is the full setting. Again, I've got it set to 8 ohms, so it's see there 0008. Obviously F for full, and that's flashing. Again, I'm pressing the left button to cycle through, so you can change all these. Okay, so this is 30% that's flashing. This is where you adjust when you want the fuel light to come on, basically. Again, this is going to be trial and error. What I'm doing at the second is I'm just going to keep going until my bike starts spluttering and it demands to go on to reserve. At that point I'll just double quick check what the fuel gauge is actually saying is what's in the tank, and then I'll adjust it accordingly. Oh, that's talking too long and it's skipped. Alright, let's go back. Might have to just double check that one again. Let's go through the fuel again. Sorry, my bad. So it's still on 90 ohms, well not on 95 if I remember, that's what I was going to try. See, if you leave it, it just cancels off, then you have to redo that bit because it doesn't actually save it. You've got to go back to make the big number flash for it to save. So 30% fuel light. There we go, so that will have saved that now. Okay, next screen. This is the clock. Obviously. Again, left button, select 24 hours. 12, obviously if you press the right button it'll change it to 12 hours. Cycle through all the digits, and that's that done. Back to 4. Okay, next one. This is the illumination of the screen. Again, press your left button, you can adjust it, 5 being the brightest and 1 being the dimmest. Okay, next one. Number 6. What is this? I can't remember. This is something to do with the, oh yeah, I mean, see there, this is something to do with the trips. I've never actually adjusted this the first time around. Set to 2T for whatever reason. Can't remember what that is. Number 7. Yeah, there you go, miles per hour. So this is where you change it from kilometers per hour, miles per hour. You'd have to double check in the manual what number 6 is. Okay, number 8. This is where you can manually put in your actual mileage of the bike. So for me it's 35,000 something. Cycle all the way through that one. Oh, gone too far. And then number 9. This is just a trip. This is basically the mileage since you've had these clocks. You can't adjust that. And that's it, we're all done. So if you want to go back to the, come back out of the menus and settings, just hold down the left button. And there we go, all done. I'm not going to start my bike up because it's stone cold, and I'm going to do my choke, and my neighbour's an nice old lady and I don't want to wake her up. Right. Hope this helps. Cheers. Bye.